Hello everyone, this is the first lesson recording for IM1, January 15th, 2021. We started off with doing the quiz number 1 on square root, cube root, and arithmetic geometric sequence. So if you were absent, then please contact me as soon as possible so that you can make up the quiz. What are we doing today? We are going to be looking at using arithmetic sequence in situations and seeing what the equation would be and situation with missing terms. So to do that, we are going to go on to this Desmos activity and you're going to be working on card number 1 to 18. Okay, so this is a fun exercise where you are moving the hooks. Okay, so you're moving the hooks. You have 3 pictures to hang. Drag the blue points to place the hooks so that they're equally spaced from one another. Okay, so we have 3 hooks. So we want to put them in 3 different places so that the distance is about the same from each other. Okay, so that looks about the same. So I'm going to try it. How is that going to look? Oh, the third one did not work. Okay, so I need to reset and try again. Okay, maybe that was too far. So I need to move it this way. Let's try. Okay, so I got it in second try, which is pretty amazing because I usually don't. Okay, then move on to the next. Okay, drag the blue points to place the hooks so that they're equally spaced from one another. And we don't want to hit the lamp, so we want to be farther away. Okay, so this time, is this any easier? Well, we have on the background, we sort of have a wallpaper that's good, sort of like a grid, right? So maybe we can use that. So maybe we can put that on the grid. Okay, so having the grid is somewhat helpful. And let's see if that's going to work out. Oh, the third one, the last one didn't work. Okay, so I need to reset it and move it. And you keep doing that until you've hung all 4. Okay, and it may take many tries. And that is okay. Okay, and you and your classmate have made, I said 3 attempts here, but in your class, during the class, there will be a lot more than 3 to place the frames. You and your classmates placed all the frames correctly on the first try on exactly 0 number of attempts. That means nobody was able to um, hang the pictures, the frames from on their first try. Is there a better way? Well, let's find a better way to place the hooks. One where we can get them right on the first try every time. Okay, not just by eyeballing it. What can we do so that it's going to be accurate every single time? And this, to do that, we are going to use measurements, okay? And place the hooks by entering their distance from the left edge of the wall. So we have, okay, so we have 3 hooks and we have a wall that is 12 feet long and we need to put them equally spaced. Okay, so that's the only goal. Well, there are many different options, but let's just say I am choosing something like 3, 5, and 7. Would that work? Well, let's try it. If I put 5, 7, and 8, it's going to look like this. Would that work? Yeah, it worked, okay? Because I know that they were equally spaced from 3 to 5 and 5 to 7. Okay, what about this time? The wall is The total wall length is 20 feet, but we don't want to include this 8 feet. So place the hook by entering the distance from the left edge of the wall. Don't hit the door or window. So we want to stay away from the door or window. And preferably, we don't want it right behind the door either. Okay, so maybe we want to keep it to the first 10 feet, maybe. Okay, but we have 4 hooks. So maybe we can put one in, I don't know, it's up to you. Okay, so maybe I can put one in 1 foot away, 3 foot away, 5 foot away, and then 7 foot away. Let's try to see what that looks like. Okay, so that would work. Okay, and different people would have different things. But what is important is that the distance or the value between those the numbers are going to be the same. Okay, there are 5 in place picture frame hanging in the room. Here are 2 of their distance from the left wall. What are the missing distances? Okay, so we want them to be equally distanced. So we need to put 2 more in between 11 and 23. How can we figure out what to put in? Well, we want so there are many different ways. What is 23 minus 11? That's going to be 12. And we want that to be divided into 3 parts or 2 parts. Okay, if it was divided into 3 parts, then it will be 4 from each other. If it was 2 parts, then it will be 6 from 6 more, it will be added to the previous number. If I add 6 more, okay, 11 plus 6 is going to be 17. And if I add another 6 more, that's going to be 23. That's not going to work because I already have 23. Okay, so what if I added 4? Okay, then if I added 4 to the previous, that's going to be 11 plus 4 is going to be 15. 15 plus 4 is going to be 19. And 19 plus 4 is 23. So that works out. Okay, so in this case, the common difference is 4. So to go figure out the first hook, I need to go backwards, subtract 4 from 11. So I am going to get 7. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next card. And now press try to see if it worked out. Great. Okay, this is a way for you to check your work. All right, now imagine 5 more evenly spaced frames for the total of 10. Where should the new hook go? Okay, so all right, this time again, the common difference, if you look, what is being added each time? It's being 4 is being added, so we need to add 4 more here. So that's going to be 27. 27 plus 4 is going to be 31. 31 plus 4 is going to be 35. 35 plus 4 is going to be 39. 39 plus 4 is going to be 43. Okay, and now this time we get to try it and see. All right, so here are my hooks that I put up, and they do hang. Okay, if they're not equally distanced, then one of your frames will fall through. Okay, so now imagine 20 more evenly spaced frames for a total of 30. Oh boy, I have to add a lot more numbers. Okay, so I need to add 4 more each time. Okay, so is that the only way? Enter the values one by one into the middle column of the table, or enter an equation for D in terms of N, and that gives all the distance at once. When you finish, press submit. So D represents the distance and N represents the hook number. Okay, well, it sure would be nice if you can come up with an equation instead of entering every single number, wouldn't it? What would be the equation? Well, what is the common difference? Remember the equation we came up with last lesson for arithmetic sequence is a sub 1. The value of the nth term is d, which is the common difference, multiplied by n, that's the variable, plus a sub 0, that's the 0th term. So to figure out the equation, we need to figure out the common difference and the 0th term. Okay, so what is the common difference? Well, you're adding 4 each time, aren't you? So it's plus 4 each time. So I know that common difference is 4. Do we know A sub 0? Okay, A sub 0, that means we need to look for when hook number 0 is. Can we figure out what the 0th term will be? Okay, again, this is the imaginary value because it does not exist in real sequence, but it's to help us figure out. Okay, so to go backwards, I am going to subtract 4 from 7, and that's going to be 3. So I know that 0th term is going to be 3. Okay, so this tells me I can come up with the equation. So, and D, in this case, D does not represent common difference. We know the common difference is 4. D represents the distance from the wall edge. So D is equal to common difference. What we are adding is 4 times n. N is the hook number, and the 0th term will be 3. That's what we're starting off with. This tells us that to figure out the 4th term, we added the common difference, the plus 4, 4 times from the 0th term, which is 3. And that's what this equation tells us. So I am going to submit, and look, it just enters all the numbers for us. Okay, and we didn't have to do the calculation. It did that for us. That's pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to check our answers to see if it works out. Okay, so those are all my rest of the hooks that I put in, and they are hanging because they are equally distanced from the wall edge. All right, so now here's a new wall. There are 15 frames. Where should the hooks go? Type the numbers into the middle column of the table or enter the equation and press submit. Again, it will be far easier to come up with an equation rather than add all the numbers one by one. Okay, so to do that, we need to again figure out the common difference and the 0th term. Okay, so remember that this is the equation A sub n is equal to common difference D multiplied by n, the term number, plus A sub 0, the 0th term value. Okay, so we need to first figure out common difference. Common difference, what is being added? Okay, and we're told that we are going to create a evenly spaced. That means you're going to add the same amount each time. Okay, so to figure out the common difference, I always go to the second term and then subtract the previous term. So this common difference is going to be the previous second term, 17.5, subtract the previous term to 17.5 is 13, and that's going to be 4.5. Okay, so that means I am adding 4.5 each time, and I am going to keep doing that each time. Okay, so I know that that is the common difference. That is this value. Okay, what about the 0th term? To figure out the 0th term, when hook number 0, what happens? We need to go backwards. Instead of adding 4.5 to go forward, we're going backwards, so we're going to subtract 4.5. Okay, so A sub 0 is going to be 13, and we're going to subtract 4.5 from it, and that leaves me with 8.5. So I know that 0th term is 8.5. Okay, now that I figured out the common difference and the 0th term, I can use the formula. So distance from the edge of the wall is going to be 4.5. That's the common difference multiplied by variable n plus 8.5. That's the 0th term. And when I enter submit, it will fill the table for me. and it works out on the next